How's it going, everybody? My name is Warner Fields with Fields of Profit. I'm a six-figure Amazon seller and full-time student. And in this video, I'm going to be going over some of the things that seem to be kind of common threads with people who are kind of stuck on Amazon. These are some common things that I talk about when I do consulting and stuff like that. There's a lot of little nitpicky things that you can kind of get into the weeds on that will really help your business go to that next level. So if you've been stuck in the same spot or you're just looking to get started out, want to have some good things to keep in mind, this video is going to be great for you. Before we do jump into the content of the video, if you want to go ahead and check out our free Discord server, that's going to be linked down below. Tons of great information in there, and I think there's over 9,000 of you in there. So hopefully you guys are liking that a lot, and I hope to see you in there. So the first major thing that is holding your Amazon business back is you are not spending your money fast enough. This is a super common thread with people who are getting kind of stagnant on Amazon. If you're not able to spend every dollar of your inventory budget, I'm not telling you to go out and max out your credit cards, and especially if you're a beginner, don't spend every single dollar you have when you're first starting out. You need a little bit of it to learn. But if you are somewhere in your business where you already know what you're doing, you have profitable inventory, it's time to really ramp that up. Spend every inventory dollar available to you, and you're gonna put that in product. Something that I've heard in the past is when you have a lot of money, you buy good inventory, and when you have not a lot of money, you buy great inventory, but you're always buying inventory, right? So you need to be kind of reverse engineering your spending as well. If you are kind of shooting for a sales goal, generally with online arbitrage and wholesale, somewhere around half of your revenue will be directly related to your buy cost. So that's saying, so if you spend $1,000 this month, next month you should be doing $2,000 or so in revenue on those products. If you're doing used books or something like that, that is a lot higher margins, those numbers might be different. But for wholesale and online arbitrage, maybe similar for retail arbitrage as well, that's somewhere where you're going to be kind of sitting around. And if you are someone who's spending all that money available to you, great. The reason that it's so important to spend that money as fast as you can is because with Amazon, we're able to very consistently generate 30, 35, 40+% returns every month on those inventory dollars that we're spending. So it makes absolutely no sense to have inventory budget sitting around unless you're saving for a big wholesale purchase or something like that. But even then, you got to weigh the opportunity cost of holding cash in your inventory bank accounts, right? It's extremely important to continue cycling through that capital. And if you are someone who's able to spend all that cash that you have available to you, some other things you might want to consider are credit cards and Amazon loans. As far as Amazon loans, those are offered to you through Seller Central. I'm sure a lot of you already have some small Amazon loan offers, but if you are not aware that they even offered those loans, after no one really knows what the metrics are, I started getting them after a year of being a consistent seller with good ratings and all that kind of stuff. And every month they will expire, and then after that you can generally get a better offer next month. So for a while, mine have continued to go up in number value. So taking that Amazon loan could be something that would be very good for your Amazon business, as it'll give you more capital to work with. One other thing you consider, and this is something that I've used a lot, is using business credit cards. Paying them off at the end of the month, but it will increase your short-term spending potential. Again, I don't recommend this if you are a beginner or you're not 100% confident in your ability to sell inventory, where I tend to spend a pretty good amount on those credit cards. It gives me some more buying power so that by the time those products are selling, it gives me plenty of money to pay that back and get all the profit in turn. If you're looking for a good credit card to start out with, I personally started with the Amex Business Blue as far as business credit cards go. And then I also use a Chase Sapphire Preferred. If you guys are looking into some new credit cards, there's going to be links for both of those. I think with the Chase, you get like $1,000 worth of points if you sign up with that link. So that could be something to consider if you're looking at getting to increase your spending potential. But that is going to be one thing that majorly helps you out in the long term, is being able to spend that money as fast as possible, spending more money using those loans and credit cards. One other thing you can consider as far as spending more money is potentially switching business models or implementing a new business model into your existing business model. Let's say you're selling used books on Amazon. The reason why used books is difficult to do at massive scale is because you're not able to spend the money as fast as you possibly could. It's not a matter of finding profitable inventory. It's fairly easy to find profitable books. But if I were to go out, my monthly budget right now is spending about $50,000 is what I'm shooting for. I would have to go to thrift stores like constantly, right? I don't even know if that's possible to spend $50,000 at thrift stores on used books. So you've got to be kind of integrating some new business models if you're finding that with your clearance retail arbitrage or your used books, or even if you're doing online arbitrage and you're not able to spend fast enough there, start doing wholesale, maybe consider a private label product. It's time to make sure you're dumping all of those inventory dollars into inventory because you're wasting a ton of ROI potential, even if you're putting it into that good inventory, not that great inventory. 25-30% ROI is still better than zero, right? So it's super important that your cash inventory dollars are put into a product almost at all times so that you can continue to see that compounding effect. Another thing that's holding your business back from scaling as fast as it could is that you're holding on to tasks for too long. You're doing your own prep still. You're doing your own sourcing still. Some things like that are easy tasks to outsource, especially if you're doing online arbitrage. So outsourcing your sourcing can be super, super easy. If you're interested in a video on outsourcing your sourcing, this is my video on how I hired a virtual assistant. This has been a major help in my business. I have several virtual assistants at this point for all kinds of things, and they're able to help me a lot on the back end, save myself some time to the point where I barely even work on my Amazon business anymore, probably 20 to 25 hours a week, which for a lot of you probably sounds like a lot, but I'm crazy. I like to work a lot. But I've been able to scale back the hours that I'm spending on my actual Amazon business because I've been outsourcing those things as much as possible. So it's super important to be outsourcing those repetitive tasks. Your prep is also probably taking you a lot of time. So if you are dumping too much time into your prep work, it's time to maybe hire a family friend. Full transparency, I hired my sister who is in high school. So it's a nice high school job. She gets to sit at home, watch YouTube, and prep products for me, right? So if you've got maybe a family friend, or if you're a parent, maybe your kid wants to make some Pokemon card money or whatever, teach them how to put some stuff in boxes and send that off to Amazon. As well as if you're kind of at a scale maybe between 1,000 to 3,000 units a month, it can be difficult to kind of justify buying a warehouse. That's kind of where I'm at right now. I've been doing about 2,000 orders a month. It doesn't make economic sense completely to get a warehouse yet, but it's just kind of a pain to do it out of your house and stuff like that. So something you can consider is using a prep center. Prep centers, I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with those, but if you're not, you generally will just send your inventory to your prep center. They will sticker it and everything and polybag it if applicable and send that into Amazon's warehouse for you. But that can take a big workload off of you, kind of help you grow your business. Focus on instead of stickering products, maybe you're calling more wholesale distributors or finding more opportunities on websites for more profitable product flips. It's all about if you are capped on time but you have money, it's time to spend that money, buy other people's time, and leverage that in your business. That's extremely important. If you have plenty of capital sitting around, you've got to be buying time, and those are two great ways to buy time within your Amazon business. Another common theme that I see with people who are trying to scale their business to the next level, something that kind of holds them back, is not leveraging the proper tools. For your business, this could be something like if you're getting your feet wet in online arbitrage, you're having difficulty finding product, maybe it's time to consider using a software like Tactical Arbitrage, or especially if you're skimping on Keepa, you've got to use Keepa. Things like these tools are going to help scale your business. If you're not willing to invest in some of these tools, it kind of just demonstrates that your priorities are not aligned with where you actually want to be. You got to make sure that, so let's break it down in terms of using a repricer. This is an example I think I used on my very last video. But let's say you are spending 3 hours a week on your repricing and you don't have a repricer yet. The Be Cool repricer is only $25 a month, so that tells me that you value your time at less than $10 an hour. Treat yourself better than that. Invest in that repricer. Plus, that's going to increase your buy box rotation, have all kinds of other great benefits. So if there's a software that you've been putting off getting, that can be a major factor that will help your business grow, especially if it's a time-saving software. Maybe if it's a listing software that you've been putting off buying. That $50 a month, kind of weigh it out. How much time is it going to save you? And then kind of consider what you're paying yourself. Like it's super important to be leveraging your tools to increase your hourly rate. So if you're looking at something like an inventory lab, if you're spending 2 hours a month on prepping products, that would probably half the time if you use inventory lab, something like that. Those tools are going to save you a ton of time. Consider the value of your time when you're considering upgrading into some of these softwares. So if you guys got any value out of this video for growing your business, if you could help my business out and hit that subscribe button down below, I'd really appreciate that. If you guys have any questions or anything like that, feel free to drop those down below. I'm super happy to answer those. Let me know, drop a comment if you learned something. Let me know what kind of stuck out to you. I'd appreciate that as well. That all helps me out with the algorithm. But I really appreciate you guys hanging around to the end of the video, and I will see you next time.